Alright, so first I guess we'll do summons. So we do have a Villa, which is a pure healer. She doesn't have any. I heard that she doesn't have any attack skills, so everything is mostly heals and I think heals and support. So let's see how we do. We do have a bunch of well, maybe enough for probably 2 temples or 3 temples. Oh, maybe 2 temples then. Do we get it? Do we get it? And nice, we.
Thank you for inviting me, Miss Martin.
Now we have enough.
The room is more than fine.
Now we have enough.
By the way, do you happen to have a swimming pool here?
We have enough to save for the next one. Hopefully, the next banner is a DPS. Villa's banner is about to end in a day or so. So we got lucky. Let's who else we got. Oh, nice! We even got the other 5-star.
Type in this group too?
So we got lucky this the beginning of the stream. Hey Malay, thanks for doing first. See, we got lucky even though you were not here. How are you? Let's see. Did you get back home or are you still on the traveling? Alright. So, as I said, 1 day, 5 hours left, so hopefully we can save it. Alright, let's put the new character in. Well, we have 2 new characters, so we're gonna put the 6-star on. Or let's see. Let me check this other character. Where's the? So we have a.
The floating lady likes to share her tea with me. We have so very much to talk about.
Wait, what floating lady?
She invites me to visit her in her room. And there, teacups and carrots can grow bigger or smaller.
Wait, so similar to like Alice in Wonderland?
Just like Ravashki. A babushka has 4 wings, 6 jointed legs, a pair of antennae, and a thin abdomen. Vila says that a babushka looks almost like a colorful snowflake.
Thanks for the like, Panzer.
I can write to Vila and ask her to catch one for us. Martin, do you know?
Oh, she even knows Vertin? Alright, let me check the other character. As I said, wait, did I pass her? So Villa is a pure healer. No attacks, mostly just heals and support.
Back in the old days, we often danced around the campfire. After that, we talked about life and told the children the true history of our land. Sometimes we would just sit in silence, waiting for the future to arrive. I learned this from living among the humans.
Alright, I'm gonna leave her as the character in the thing. We're gonna start the event and see how it goes. Alright, gonna show the trailer. I think. Alright, we'll start the trailer. The friends from afar. Farewell, Ravashki.
That navy blue color. It's a mutant. So that's why they've sent me here. Something is wrong with this town.
Ravashki is a town on an island near the North Pole. Peaceful and free from strife. For decades, the town has prospered from mining ore.
But that ore has now run dry. And without the ore, Xeno will no longer support us. Comrades, it is time to leave.
I drafted the town's ley energy map. Here, we might find new resources.
This is amazing! Are new rocks growing out of the dirt?
You found a new way out for us.
This is our last hope. To protect our dreams and unite our people. For our land, for our future. Comrades, we march.
Alright, let's start. Hopefully, most of the stories have like around like 23 to 26 parts, so we'll see how much this has. Welcoming ceremony. So usually for the main event there's a voice actor, so hopefully I'm gonna set it to auto.
I once traveled to a small town called Ravashki. It was located high up within the Arctic Circle, and it was frigid cold all year long. After my visit there, I traveled to many more places. From Zealand to the Balkan Peninsula, my journey went on and on. But above all other places, I kept finding my thoughts returning to that little town, to its incandescent lights glowing in the long dark of the polar night, to the shared dream of the people there. I got this picture book from Ravashki. It is a children's book, a thin one at that, but the story inside has the power to warm a frigid heart. Once opened, wells of bright primary colors run into one another and flow up onto my palm. I found myself returning to it during stormy days when I was stuck at home.
Farewell, Ravashki. Alright, so that was a Y. I thought it was a V.
This is a story about honest and ordinary people.
Ravashki. So usually for the events we go up to like 10, so we'll see how far, what time we get when we get to the stage 10.
The swans are dancing in a circle. Their arms go back and forth. Vila and the swans have done this dance almost 20 times last week. She taught the swans all their beautiful moves. Swan Lick is the best ballet ever. I remember Mr. Afghani once said so. He also said the tortoises would come to watch the show. But why would tortoises want to watch Swan Lake? Sheila says she doesn't like the tortoises. She likes knowledge. I don't know much about knowledge. But I think Miss Vila's always right. Only between you and me, Vila smells like seaweed and coral. But those are happy smells to me. I think she must be the princess of the ocean. But she tells us she is not special, and that everyone here is equal, no matter if they are a princess or a swan. That we all have 2 feet and 10 fingers, and if we all work together, we can build the beacon to the future. I hope in the future we still get to sing and dance.
I think this is the character you wanted me to put on the screen thing before.
Nina's favorite food is called alonka. It's a chocolate bar. She used to cry a lot whenever she made a mistake with her dancing. But then Vila talked to her, and now she doesn't cry so much. One time, she danced very, very perfectly. So, Vila gave her a piece of an alonka bar. I believe she will be a great dancer. If she doesn't get too nervous on stage, then she could have even more chocolate. I wish I was like her. I want chocolate too. But I'm not a swan like her. And now, there's never any Alyonka in the canteen's cupboard. Now Nina is the swan princess. The most prettiest of all swans. Basono is the swan prince. He is a nice one, and he has many, many swan friends. And Piotr is the evil sorcerer, a black swan. Nobody wanted to be the bad guy, but Piotr doesn't mind. He is very serious and always bossy to everyone, so he doesn't have many swan friends. Piotr just wants to do his job as perfectly as he can, because he loves our town. Now, Avgust is not a swan, but he also loves his town. Then there is a little mouse who moves as quickly as the blowing wind. Will it be our new visitor? What was it that Vila said about new visitors? I don't remember now.
What about time? Oh, man, like time for like when I get to stage 10, I want to see what the time is for if it's gonna be like late or not. Because we did start after midnight.
Vila!
The boy slips through the crowd until at last he finds that face looking out over a snowy field.
Reporting to you, Comrade Vila. I have a very important question.
Well, then go ahead, little comrade Avgust.
How should we receive the new visitors coming to town? Maybe we can welcome them with...
Is it Virgin that's visiting?
Or friendship? Or maybe something else?
We will welcome them with white snow, with smiles on our faces, and with welcoming arms we use to achieve our dreams, as we do for everyone who comes here, little comrade.
Villa wipes away the paint from the child's face and stands.
It's always good to ask questions. But don't forget your task today, all right?
He points to the unfinished painting in his hands.
Ooh!
August nods eagerly.
I won't. My drawings are important, but Villa says entertaining our new friends is also important. Which one comes first?
He holds up his cluttered drawing board.
After the swans have flown away, Evgeny will go up to the stage. Evgeny is not an evil sorcerer, but he knows a secret magic that makes everyone's tongue hide in their mouths. He is not so much a bad person, I think. Evgeny's shadow is very long, but no one, not even my sunflower, can explain why. Evgeny walks heavily onto the stage. His appearance comes without any applause.
Tall figure reaches the podium. Oh, so he's okay. He looks like a general.
We have received a telegraph. Xenos investigators will arrive here in Ravashki tomorrow afternoon. And we will be hosting a welcome ceremony.
The crowd is silent in reply.
I understand your concerns. I know you don't want Zeno to interfere with your lives, nor do you want their troops stationed here. And I would remind you that they have honored their side of the deal for decades now.
The callous hands raise up to break the silence.
We give them runium ore, and they supply us in return. It should be as simple as that. Always it has been this way, since my grandfather's time.
Times have changed, Comrade Knut. In the old days, Zeno used to pay us generously for mining this runium, because our ore was necessary for their arcane combat vehicles. But now, we have nearly exhausted all our mines. You know this better than I do.
But isn't there some other work we can do? Already we build our own houses, and now we even grow our own crops.
He's right. Why must we work with Zeno if we could feed ourselves?
Comrades, calm yourselves. Evgeny is doing this for everybody's sake. Have you forgotten about those little monsters? Is there anyone left on our defense team that hasn't been injured fighting them?
The audience falls quiet. Again, he seized at the momentary pause.
It is as Comrade Nikita said. The critters are running rampant these days. Not only have they occupied most of our mines, some have even found their way into the town. Do you really think we can protect our people with our small defense team? Don't you care about your neighbor's safety? Do you want to keep Ravashki an isolated town just to let it die?
Ravashki is more than an isolated town, Evgeny. And we all know that.
But this is the reality we all must face now.
The scales on Mila's face raise involuntary. She holds her stare. Workers, cooks, security personnel. Soon, all of Ravashki has joined in.
Comrade Evgeny, it was your idea to turn to these Xeno big guys for help. But you never even asked what we think, did you? So you can't blame us for disagreeing now.
I'm doing this for your good.
His assurance did not seem to have much impact on the crowd. The cold wind passes across the
We
square.
can take care of ourselves.
She has more to say, but as she moves to speak, her scale stands on edge and shivers audibly. She holds her hands up, signaling to the crowd. There's a scent on wild wind, danger in sight, or set. What is this new monster? A horde of hairy critters burst into the square.
Everyone, watch out!
She picks up a wooden chair to fend them off.
Defense team! On it!
It seems like one of the characters, Layla, is, I'm not sure if she's part of this, thing before she went to the Foundation. We'll use her as the sis. Recommended. Man, we don't need a healer, I don't think. We'll put all stars. Or hey, Abby. So we did get her recently, so we'll use her. Hopefully it's not that hard since it's just story, not like hard mode or crisis mode.
Join with us, comrades. I will remember your sacrifice.
Sophia!
Hearts here.
Oh!
Oh!
Nice! Hip hip! Hooray!
Blast him away. The critters flee in panic. If nothing else, the attack serves to bring the town together again.
I salute your sense of smell, Comrade Vila. We could have suffered much more severe consequences without your forewarning.
Handshakes and salutes are shared. Their disputes now absent from anyone's mind.
Think nothing of it. It's just a reflex reaction when there's danger nearby.
She touches her scales, pressing them down until they're settled.
But this incursion has proved my point. We need Zeno's help. The other townspeople are not gifted with your set of talents. We are all vulnerable to the growing dangers. Wouldn't you agree? I only ask you to put yourself in their shoes.
He speaks softly, even so, the words land like a heavy blow.
Your criticism is valid and well accepted, Comrade Yevgeny. Perhaps I could agree with your plan. Provided Zeno's presence is a temporary one, we just don't want them to change things for us here.
The atmosphere in the square moves from joyful to serious, as the meaning of their words take hold.
I'm glad that you have finally come to realize what is best for us. Zeno is known for their rigorous methods and rational decision-making, and they are committed to maintaining peace around the world. I'm sure they will make the right decision. They trusted us to supply their ore, and we have faithfully played our part in supporting them. Thanks to our help, Zeno has successfully tackled many international issues. It has always been them and us together, fighting for a better world.
When he puts it that way, he is right. We should be proud of our cooperation.
Wonder what the other side would think of. Even without a punchline, come next, these belly laughs breaks the silence.
We will show our appreciation to Zeno for the contributions they've made to the world with our help. Now let's continue our rehearsals.
As the adult returns to their duties, a sharp-eyed child notices that someone is missing.
Have you seen August? I can't find him.
Strange. Where did he go?
Looking for any Lincoln left in the cupboards, I bet. He's always breaking the rules, doing whatever he wants.
We shouldn't talk badly about our classmate, Piotr. He's one of us.
Pyotr lowers his head, his face trembling, until at last he lets out a grumble fit for a bear.
Yes, you're right. I just wanted everyone to do their best. Even him.
Don't worry, kids. We will find them.
Philip pats Nina's shoulder softly.
A child is missing, Comrade Evgeny. I suggest a temporary suspension of our rehearsals.
Eugenti murmurs a half response until he catches the weight of her words.
It must be that strange kid again. He is always sneaking away like this.
August has been no small trouble in the past. Eugenti frowns, but Villa's determination glare tells him no, is not an acceptable
He's
answer.
only trying to understand the world in his own way.
So I think that's kind of cute to how they did to continue like in Frozen, since they're in close to the North Pole. Big discoveries. Visitors often come unannounced and without warning. Wait, is he at the park? The question of where the curious little dreamer has disappeared soon becomes a true conundrum. As they search through the dockyard, the post office, and even the town's phone booth reveals no trace of him. Is he crying? This is, of course, because he assigned himself a more critical mission, welcoming newcomers. A difficult task, especially when it leads him so far away, but he is not alone. His sunflower hops on along with him.
Vila once said that sunflowers mean warmth, and that makes them everyone's friends. They would warmly welcome every guest that comes to town. Just like my best friend here, right?
He raises the sunflower in his hands and whispers softly to its petals.
Best friends. Everyone should have a best friend.
He then picks up the pendant.
Okay.
Following his whispers, the pendant emits a faint glow. The sunflower is growing!
Alright. Now here are big friends, small friends, many, many friends.
Oh.
So that our new guests won't feel so lonely when they come.
The small footprints continues forward through the snow, imprinting over older, larger steps. He has nearly caught up with Ravashki's newest guest. So who's the new visitor?
Amazing. I've never seen such a highly mutated Ichirak before.
Wait, is that who they're meeting?
I would have missed these precious
By
research
mistake?
opportunities if there weren't a gathering in the town. Oh, Winsong, seems like life has been good to you and your theory.
Oh, it's Winsong. So who's Winsong? She's... Is that one of the new characters? Oh, okay, that's Windsong, I think.
The disorder in ley energy here has not only caused the exhaustion of the Runian mines, but has also mutated local critters to varying degrees.
Yeah, because the critter looks like a shaman.
Then Xeno was right. No wonder they have sent so many researchers here to look for abnormalities.
I guess
Even
sneak behind her.
It's obvious that this town has more to it than a handful of overly active critters. But they don't seem especially interested in the mutant ones either. Xeno, what were you looking for here?
Does she not notice her? A sudden movement passing under the coat brings out her monologue.
Hey, let go! Let go of my leg!
Strange. You're not a fox, and you're not a sable.
The appearance of this unknown child brings, at first, confusion, followed swiftly by panic.
Hey, kid, what are you doing?
She picks herself up, dusting off the small flurry of snowflakes. Unfortunately, Windsong is not the only one startled by the child.
Oh, shoot. Ejiraks are usually known for their good temper. It seems to not apply to their mutant kin.
Rugged antlers aim squarely at the researcher. The creature's nose puffs with each aggressive breath. Irritated breath. The Stars team. Ooh.
Fine, I'll give it a try. Over here.
Wanna watch the aerial stunts?
One hard hit. Come on, baby.
A little trick.
Oh, they're stronger than the last group.
Fine.
Let the show begin. Illusion is nothing.
Right wing.
Enough.
Хорошо.
No, over here.
A little trick.
King always would sit on me. All right, the party's over. Thank you for cleaning up the room and washing those mugs and glasses. I have another round to catch.
Природа — это числа и черты.
I think she's gonna be the next banner, so I'm gonna try to roll for her too.
Are you building blocks here?
The startled Egdrick runs off into the distance. Not sure if I pronounced it right.
Lucky for us, it seems to still be afraid of the dark like the rest of its kind. It's finally over.
Her satisfaction fades as she takes stock of her surroundings.
Oh, my materials!
Well, you are the most.
What's the most? His little hand struggles to reach any higher. He passed the freezing hand of the researcher.
You drove away all the bad critters and protected everyone. The swans on the stage, the big burning furnaces in the factory, and even the uncle sleeping in the mine with Papa. I think they would all give you a big thumbs up.
Huh?
She sighs, resigned that she must now deal with the uninvited guests. Though in fact, she's the one here uninvited.
You can call me Windsong? Just to be clear, I'm not a spy, kid. I'm just a traveler staying in town for the moment.
She casually raises an invitation card in her hand.
Oh, but I have never seen you before. Do you also like to rest in the water, like Villa? Do you also have a beautiful blue tail?
Wait, so is Vela like a mermaid? If that, or... His strange questions prove difficult to parse, even one at a time, but the little swirl circles around her.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm certain that I am not what you think I am, little fellow. I am a... researcher. We often stay in quiet corners when we work on a project, so you won't see us often. Understand?
Researchers? Like those people on TV? I saw them stand on a tall stage with flowers in their arms. They spoke a lot and cried. And then they were given a shiny medal. Vila said the medals were to praise them for being very clever. Can I see your medal?
The last salvo penetrates deep. Winsong's face twitches unnaturally.
Oh, the crystal on you looks stunning. It looks purer than those in the mine carts.
Her gaze centered on it, a beautiful crystal hanging on the boy's neck. A chance possibly to stop his barrage of questions.
Of course. Papa gave it to me.
His small chest swells with pride.
It is precious, but also very dangerous. A crystal like this is almost as volatile as undiluted runium ore. They use this stuff for war machines. Kid, listen to me. Put that away. Go home now and don't let anyone see it. Understand? It could stimulate the critter's appetite.
Winsong nods with satisfaction, eager to see him leave. Unfortunately, the sunflower gently brushes up against her arm once more.
Can you build a very, very tall wall? One that can protect the whole town? Like what you did with the blocks?
I'm sorry, little fellow.
She points to the now empty patch of snow-covered ground.
That was just a trick. It won't last long.
Oh, that was amazing! Nina, Knut, Villa, everyone should learn from you. Could I make the doors and stones listen to me like you did one day? Will I be great? Like you?
A strange kid like you should live in the age of Aquarius and be a part of the New Age movement, or become some kind of yogi doing meditation. And do it anywhere but here.
The New Age movement. What is that?
Her helpless attempt at turning him away goes without notice. Worse still, it seems to intrigue him.
Is that where you're from?
It's not a place. It's a spirit of a time, full of interesting things like crystals, new schools of thought, many crazy and creative ideas.
Will the sun close its eyes? Will the dark clouds spit on people? Will their ships blow bubbles under the water?
Somehow, the prescription question stops being a source of annoyance. The subtle warmth of his boundless wonder shake loosen the frost from her heart. Her smile is turning from faint to genuine.
Of course. They even believe that the world is a giant piece of blank paper, and they are the artists drawing on it. And not only that, they are obsessed with bizarre ideas. Where did the Stonehenge on the Salisbury Plain come from? Where are the ships and planes which traveled past the Sargasso Sea now?
I like them.
The child's voice blurs the edge between reality and pleasant memories of past, to a time where there was others that don't like her.
They called themselves lay hunters, the apprentices of a once renowned school of thought. However, few people in academic circles accepted the idea of ley lines as an answer to their questions. So, for these lay hunters, it has been a long walk through a dark night.
Then they can come to Ravashki. Here the sun never sets. Half the year anyway. Then I can be their friend. And when I grow up, I will be a lay hunter too.
Winsong tightens her scarf as a warding off a chill.
I'm afraid it's a bit too late, little fellow. Most have already given up. They lost interest in solving the mysteries and lost their faith in finding the curves and the lines. So, the study of ley lines has been all but abandoned. There's only one fool left that hasn't given it up.
It's her! She speaks wistfully and treads in the days of memory, oblivious to the nearing sound of footsteps behind her. Shh. Oh, who's coming?
And you, I suppose, are this only one fool.
Villa pulls against towards her particularly and reproaches him with a ruffle of child's hair.
Please, ma'am. Believe me, I am not a child abductor.
Well,
Winsong offers a pained gesture towards the boy.
I think this isn't a good place to receive our guests. We have much more appropriate arrangements for new friends. But if our guest has any ill intentions, we will retaliate.
Needlegrass, the beautiful arcane fox, the warm seawater, and the disgraceful needlegrass all claims their place here. The group, each harboring their own thoughts, return towards the small town, Villa and Gus humming out a sing-song tune. An anxious Wingsong remains silent for the journey. Villa's wheels around just as they arrive at the outskirts, keeping the cadence of the song.
We're here. Thank you for taking care of little Comrade August, miss.
You mean I'm not here to be questioned? Or arrested?
Of course not. Perhaps we're a little too optimistic, but when we meet a stranger, we prefer to welcome them.
Villa looks over the awkward figure, reading the expression on her face. The researcher breaks the silence with a stumble.
Oh. Well, I'm Windsong.
That's a very unique name. And where is it you come from?
From the east side of the Dniester River.
Villa scales are hit with a sea breeze and halts her in her conversation. The teacher breaks out from her pause.
No offense, miss, but you have a complicated and unfamiliar scent about you. The smell of hard rocks, a lighthouse by the sea, rainwater in the humid summer. Nothing hostile, though.
You can smell that?
I think most rootless travelers like me smell like that.
Welcome to Ravashki, Miss Winsong.
Villa's motions inwards to the town.
Thank you. I understand your caution, but...
Winsong is seized by her own suspicion, spying the unusual scales on her host's neck. Villa catches the glance. She suddenly tugs on her sleeves and strakes her neck into her coat, taking a few cautious steps behind.
You have nothing to worry about. It's not a disease. Anyway, let's talk about you. I heard that you are a researcher. Not long ago, many of your peers visited here. They wandered around and looked under every rock and floorboard in the town, like you do. I thought perhaps they were attracted here by the town itself. But regrettably, not long after, they left one after another in disappointment. I was disappointed too.
This is a curious in her tone.
Will
Curiousness.
you be like them?
Those people are famous scholars. Of course they won't spend too much time on a project with unclear prospects. But I'm used to those.
She spreads her hands out to the town, with nothing more to say.
I salute you for your courage and spirit of exploration.
I thought you might be more hostile to me. Shouting things like, "Who do you think you are to prowl about on our private property?"
Huh?
Many see the study of ley lines like finding a needle in the grass of a Siberian field. Wasted effort with negligible results.
There is no such thing as meaningless work. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, or what you do. You will find your purpose here.
Villa shifts her gaze over to August, who has been found and surrounded by the other chowders not far away.
Is that so? No wonder how you have such an unusual student like August.
Lucas. Okay.
All that childhood wonder. Innocence. Somehow you've preserved it in him, haven't you?
The children seem unconcerned with the new adult. They have their own world and their own rules to be addressed.
Is the show finished? We cancelled our rehearsal, August. Mr. Yevgeny just left red-faced.
Yes, and he cancelled the friendship cheese on the food menu. All thanks to you.
But I was welcoming our new friend.
And we have lost our cheese because of you. This is all your fault. You're the most bothersome kid in the Ravashki.
I know that word. Most means the best. So thank you, Peter. You.
The other child is grabbing close.
August, we don't see anyone new here. You're not lying again.
Are you?
She's with Vila. They greet each other, share footprints, and even sing together. Windsong is also the best. She can draw many lines on the snow and even on a seagull.
We're not having another freak in town, right?
You mean drawing on the blackboard, like Miss Vila did?
August playfully shakes his head, feigning an
She
air of
made
mystery.
the earth turn into a tall, tall wall, and she blew her breath at it and made a building appear. If we had enough lay hunters like her working together, we would be able to send sunflowers high into the sky.
Ah, that's not so tough. All the men in town know how to build stuff like that. When we grow up, we will work like them, with hoes and shovels. But that will take ages.
If we can learn how to build like the lay hunters, then we can help the adults right now.
Don't listen to August.
The children discuss the notion intimately. Pelerier finds himself squeezed out of their huddle. He puffs his cheeks and hurries over to the adults.
Greetings, Miss Winsong. Is it true? Can you really shape the earth into different things and build things from it?
Not exactly. The things I build with my arcane skill have only a momentary effect. I can't use it that way. I learned it as part of my research while studying ley lines.
The other children joins in.
Miss Vinsong, those things Afkus told us, are they true? The sun that closes its eyes, the dark clouds that spit on people, and the lines that can reveal everything.
Miss Winsong, will you be our teacher? Like Miss Vila?
Can you prove anything?
Kids, one question at a time.
The children surrounds Winsong, catching her off guard. She looks apologetic at Vila.
Sorry, Miss Vila. I should explain it to them. Mine is not a formal discipline. Many people believe that it relies too much on the observations of arcanists, and the conclusions aren't useful for the public. So it is best that you kids do not study it.
She shrugs her own shoulders.
A pursuit of passion, fit for only a very stubborn fool like me.
I see.
Vila nods in understanding.
Then you must show us all about it. Shouldn't she, kid? I'm sure Miss Winsong would be very happy to give us a special lesson about her studies.
Uh-huh.
That surprised her.
Yay!
Escaping this unasked for obligation may prove more difficult than expected.
Miss Vila, I thought I made myself clear.
You have worked hard in this pursuit of passion, haven't you?
Regardless, the study of ley lines is, well, it's useless.
Winsong lightly taps her yellow notebook filled with cryptic scribbles and notes.
Useless.
These kids should learn something like geography. It's a much more thorough and important field. As far as the general public and academic institutions are concerned, the study of ley lines is just a niche aspect of geography. Worse still, one that is solely accessible to arcanists. To devote any real time to its investigation would take up valuable research funds and equally valuable researchers.
At least that was how they felt about it.
Mila furrows her brow.
Who can say for certain?
What about you? Do you also think that the study of ley lines is a waste of funds and manpower?
Of course I don't. Through ley lines, we can detect Arcanum-related events in the area, learn about local arcane creatures, and find the secrets hidden both above and below the Earth's surface. But I can't yet prove this to people.
Mila places her hand on Winshong's shoulder.
Well, you don't have to prove it alone. It doesn't matter what others think of your work. The only important thing is finding its uses. At first, Ravashki was just a remote village, far north in the Arctic Circle. People came here to share a dream of a better future. It was only by luck that we found the Runium. Then, Zeno approached us and became our business partner. For over 60 years, people here have worked together to make it what it is now. We built the school, the swimming pool, and the cinema for everyone. Ravashki embraces and takes in every newcomer. You and your studies are no exception. This is where our paths meet.
Vila smiles warmly. It hits like a warm sea breeze. A pair of hands, concealing sharp scale, extending towards Windsong.
Please know that I'm not just doing this for you. I'm doing this for a better future.
Vila glanced at the children not far away. Some of them seemed to be solemnly saluting a sunflower, as if there was a security team.
Education is vital in bringing up the next generation of scientists and workers. Our children should learn more about this world, even from those perspectives and types of knowledge that aren't widely accepted.
Windsong looks out to them and meets the face of an respected friend. He waves back excitedly.
Thank you, Miss Vila.
She claps her hands. It is colder than expected, but welcoming. Said the gardener to flowers. It's just a seed, yet it is a seed indeed. What is this? Is it her powers?
The study of ley lines sees the world as a clear map. The cities look like squares to us, while natural landscapes appear to be curves overlapping one another. Many bizarre places in the world, such as the location of the Tunguska explosion or the mysterious 30th parallel north, can't be drawn in squares and curves like cities in ordinary landscapes. We need to find a way to indicate them in a clear, precise way.
It's a maze.
Well, it is the ley line map of a city, but you are right. It does look like a maze.
Oh wait, this is the web event that I remember.
To begin with, I should introduce the most crucial concept in the study of ley lines. That of ley energy. It is a special energy which we can easily detect throughout the town.
Thanks
See
for
how
the
it
prime
comes
sub,
out
Millie.
from underneath the ground
Finally
and goes
went through.
into the local biosphere. circulating around like a system. If we think of the town's ley lines as a food web, then ley energy lies at its foundation.
Like how big fish eat small fish, and small fish eat even smaller fish.
It was trying to break your streak. The boys' comparison is simple, but essentially correct.
Exactly. They are the smallest fish eaten by the big fish. If we catch the big fish and study what they eat, we will know where to find the other big fish. And the ley energy, when the big fish die and break down, the small fish will go back to where they first came from.
Is this Winsong's teaching
circulation goes on
class?
and on.
You've put it very well, Miss Winsong. Like the rainwater that comes from the ocean to the rivers and returns back to the ocean.
Her tone rises, the scale along her neck unfurls slightly.
You're a quick learner. But it is not exactly like water. The concentration of ley energy is far more noticeable than that of a lake or a school of fish. Once we find its densest spot, we'll be able to trace it back to its source.
Then what are these bright spots?
These are the energy-rich locations. In a way, they indicate the energy flow.
So many. They look like stars in the sky.
Yes, and finding these locations can be very costly in terms of time and manpower.
Then what do we do after finding them?
They can tell us many things. The ley hunters will follow their courses, analyze the components in them, and match those components to each resource. Some of the components don't match with any of the known resources, which means there might be a new resource waiting to be discovered. Of course, from the ley energy, we can also learn about the local critters.
You talk about strange things, almost like Avgus does.
She pouts, finding all the things. Wait, all of this hard to believe.
These are just lines.
Like dancing earthworms. They wiggle, they twist. They're having fun. Jumping on the waves, then into the little boxes, and back into the little box.
Great. We have two of them now.
They look interesting, but we don't really understand.
Her theories are a bit too complex for children at this level, even with the aid of a drawing.
Cheer up, kids. It's not finished yet. Leyline cartography is complicated. It takes the efforts of many ley hunters working together, investigating the area, even braving dangerous and forbidden places. To this day, we've never been able to finish a completed ley energy map.
Their enthusiasm dims, but some remains immersed in the world of ley lines. I'll guess to raise up the uncompleted drawing.
I know it now. This is Ravashki.
Huh?
Ah, I see it too. And here is the swimming pool. That little square is our square. These little balls are our homes.
Oh, wait, the kids figured it out?
Oh, I live here. The third ball on the left of yours.
The children react with surprise. Winsong applause.
You're very bright, Avgus. This is the ley energy map of Ravashki.
But Miss Winsong, why are you mapping the energy of our town? Have you found any secrets that we don't know?
Children, right now you can only see what's above the ground. But there is even more ley energy beneath the ground.
Winsong lowers her head, feeling momentarily transported back to a time long past, while her audience listens intently below.
Will the sun always be in the sky? Will the glaciers ever melt away? What lies in the darkness beneath us? Are there other critters around here that you've never seen? How should we deal with them?
The topic sets off a clamor of excitement from the children.
I heard once that there were many strange footprints next to the school windows.
Uncle Patrick saw it. A monster with 6 legs, and each one has spikes.
That must be a kikirn, a small-sized Canidae critter, mostly seen in cold areas. But the ley energy might have affected the weather of their habitat, or they wouldn't be here in Ravashki in summer. The deep blue line here shows that particular one's movement.
Or maybe Uncle Patrick could have drunk too much.
The ley energy accumulated in them suggests that they mostly feed on moss and worms under the snow and stay near town. We can infer that this is a docile herbivorous kind of critter that is merely curious about human behavior. I think feeding them will be much more useful than driving them away.
Vila nods thoughtfully.
Since these critters began to overrun the area, the defense team has encountered many new creatures. I can feel there is something strange about them, but I can't yet understand the differences. You provided a different angle on the situation, Miss Winsong. I believe it would help the defense team greatly.
These new discoveries have provoked interest in the teacher and her students alike.
The fires in the furnaces are out. The bees and kites dance around the barn. White moss is on the wall. Oh, storms will fall down from the sky.
This bizarre yet anonymous statement seems to upset the others.
Stop saying these strange things, August. The defense team will keep the critters out of town and protect everyone. And there will not be any stones falling from the sky.
Pierre stands up, his fist clenched and face flushed red.
Is everything alright, Piotr?
Yeah, you're lying. Ravashki is safe. It will be our home forever.
I hate to tell you this, kid, but what Avgust just said could be right. I have the same feeling that
What's like a volcano or
the
what?
good weather here won't last too long.
She glazed upwards, a sky above is gray growing darker.
Look at those thick gray lines. Those are the traces of cloud movements and moisture. Now they're mingled together.
Guys, let's
But
zap
the
those in
sun will
chat.
still be shining. Miss Vila said that the polar day will last for a very, very long time.
Miss Vila was right. And past statistics don't lie. According to the data, the weather here should continue for the next few months. Yet the ley lines say otherwise. They say the weather will be extremely unpredictable.
You are making things up. The forecaster on TV said the weather in Ravashki will be temperate in the coming months.
And the weather forecaster was right, according to his analysis. But life is full of surprises.
I know why you're concerned, Miss Winsong. I feel the glaciers are melting slightly faster than usual. There is going to be a warm front forming from the melting water.
Well, at least for the legendary one, it does give us extra time to catch it. Gives us 120 seconds instead of 60 seconds. But I think everybody's gonna catch it. Just happens to be fast. Winsong looks at her audience. She has half hope for some opposition from them.
But will there really be stones falling from the sky?
I can't say anything for certain just yet, kid. All I have is this incomplete map. And as you can see, many sources of the marks and traces haven't been located. Which means we can't come up with a precise calculation. But there's no question that Ravashki will soon face many challenges. The weather could become much worse. The environment might change. Maybe some unknown critters might turn up.
Millie drinks to everyone.
Liar! You're all liars! Ravashki is at home, so it can't be dangerous.
The class bell rings at an appropriate. The children rush out of the classroom one after another.
Piotr, you can't fly if your feathers get wet.
Winston sighs. Although she has been adapted to her new role, she must keep up with the children. Vila intercepts her.
They will need some time to take in all this new knowledge. Don't you agree?
I thought I could handle all their questions. I think I made things worse. Sorry.
Have faith in them. They will come around.
Pereira squats on the ground, muttering softly to himself while rolling some pebbles. A sunflower and a boy attached to it approaches.
Are you here to laugh at me?
Good day, how's
All
everything?
these stories of monsters and falling stones, they aren't good at all. I overheard Mr. Evgeny talking. He said the town has so many problems, and soon what some people think will decide our future. If people believe in those terrible stories, maybe they will be scared and they won't come back to Ravashki. Our town will be forgotten.
But I wasn't lying.
Choking tears fill their small world. Rustling sound comes up from behind the flower bed. Crimson's eyes set in the furry head observes them with curiosity.
Huh? Hello, Kikiru.
What? What are you doing? I will draw its attention. You go find the defense team for help.
You just eat worms and moss. The older boy opens his trembling arms defensively. Oh, it's actually attacking us? I'm gonna change this out.
Did the show begin? Excellent. Get ready to step onto the stage. Let the show begin.
Time.
Illusion is nothing.
Uh-oh.
Meeting.
That's what you've got.
Huh? I'm sorry.
A mound of sunflower seeds is presented on the pair of tender hands. Moist nostrils approach, and then a rough tongue greedily curves around the seeds.
It's itchy.
The queen purrs constantly, and now empty-handed strokes it gently but confidently.
It feels warm, doesn't it? Miss Winsong said they can be our friends. The that they will bring seeds to every corner of the town.
Like a gardener?
Another pair of hands reaches out to cautiously caress its fur.
Yes. Go plant more sunflowers, Kikirn.
The deep blue creature starts away.
So, Miss Winsong was not alive.
Accordion. The accordion sings, carrying its passion into the distance. The warm currents of the ocean is a stranger to this place. The loud silent dock seems to be pinning for use, for its visitors to bustle once more with industry. A lone figure stands there, resolute, unblinking. Vila stretches out as she stands beside him. The scales on her wrists and ankles catches the light, shimmering against the white reflection in the water.
Do you really think it's a good idea to turn to Xeno for help?
We have drawn almost every man and woman from the mining facilities to get rid of the critters nesting around the port. Most of the defense team were injured. Some lightly, but others got much worse. It will be weeks before they can return to duty. If an attack like the one at the rehearsal happens again, I'm not sure we will be able to protect ourselves.
His stance doesn't waver, but his face turns swiftly towards the abandoned mine far in the distance. Kiki walks, stretches, and swoops down over the vast white tundra.
I know most of our people are frustrated with Xeno's arrival, but I expected better from you, Vila. People trust you, and they will follow you, but that doesn't make you right. Maybe you're still too young to see the dangers.
I might be wrong, but history is a long lesson in learning what is right through being unafraid to be wrong.
Sadly, we don't have time for trial and error.
And this is your excuse for making decisions for us against our will?
I will hold myself responsible for my decisions. In that, you have my word.
Their conversation reaches deadlock once again. Fortunately, elsewhere, there are others with fewer and simpler burdens.
Today is the day of our welcome ceremony. Vila said when the bell rings, the important people from the Dorothy's Academy will arrive. Everyone looks excited. Nina has put on her best dress. I know she will be great on stage. Basono will do all with Piotr. It's his duty to protect the princess. As for me, I got a new job from Mr. Afghani. Salute, shake hands, and give them the warmest welcome.
The children nod solemnly, aware of the weighty missions he must undertake. The little standard bearer stands ready to receive Ravashki's latest guests.
What, this? There are bubbles in the water.
The critter pops his head out of the water, two eyes staring out at the boy with bewilderment.
We meet again, Kikirn. Are you Planting sunflowers under the water? Have you brought your friends?
Bubbles swirl on the open surface of the water as Molokron breaks up through the slurry of ices. Though their particular appearances differ from one to the next, they all possess large, lamp-like eyes that look out and around with curiosity.
1, 2, oh! Your friends also have 6 legs! Look! They're wearing needle grass and flat files on their legs. Are you also here for the ceremony?
The child takes pride in his imaginative duties.
Welcome, Kikirin and friends. Welcome to the prettiest town in all of the Arctic. Ravashki.
Ravashki.
Please, enjoy your song.
His cheeks flush as spirited child voice reverberates in unison down into the sea ahead. Seagulls take flight as the distant statue springs to life and rushes over.
Comrade August, what are you doing?
Whoa! I'm welcoming Vicky Kieran.
The child happily salutes the Kurin as they step onto the dock.
Get out of there, they're dangerous. Defense team, drive them away.
Wait! These are Kikirin. They're not aggressive. They're just curious about us. The kids seem to like them.
The defense teams move swiftly and without hesitation.
Get rid of them.
As you command, comrade.
Fine.
Let the show begin. Enough!
Meeting.
Wanna watch the aerial stunts?
For everyone.
Right win. Red 38 is about to return.
Rays of bullets and bursts of flame disrupts the water surface, following the currents as they dive in, one after another. Alarm wails in the distance, but the currents are already gone. The children who came to see them are left to the ground, gripping their hats over their ears.
The Kikirans are all gone. I think they don't like us anymore.
Comrade Yevgeny.
Take the kids back to where they were, Comrade Vila. It was your duty to protect them.
His orders fizzles out as soon as they are said.
Maybe if we make the town a better place, more friends will come back. Then they will also come back.
That makes sense.
The researcher observed all this from a nearby vantage. Her notebook rustles with a sigh.
The family of Kikirin includes dozens of subspecies, but none of them are so greatly adapted to water as this. That is to say, they might also be affected by the ley energy under Ravashki. Pity that they were driven away. There was much we could have learned from them.
She looks up, a blanket of clouds obscure the sun, with only a few rays of light breaking through.
The temperature here is rising much faster than expected, and much earlier in the season. I imagine if you asked the Weather Bureau, they would say this is just an odd occurrence of unseasonable weather outside of expected ranges.
The booming sound of cannon fires interrupts Windsong's train of thought.
It's time. The Xeno investigators should be here any minute. I must stress again how important this ceremony could be for our future. Our town's economy is facing a cliff, and I am sure each one of you has noticed the increased rationing. If we wish to take care of our people in the future and protect our friends and family from these frequent creature attacks, we need Xeno's support. So we will work with Xeno, because we must. The future of Ravashki is in our hands. So is the future of every comrade here. And we need the cooperation of every man and woman here.
His stares falls towards the Ravashki's foot. After a pause, his target replies.
Xeno's ships are very fast, so as soon as they appear on the horizon, our ceremony will begin.
Understood.
The choir raised in unison, looking out at the pale blue horizon. The sea responds pleasantly. Salmon leaps out of the water, seagulls circling around the empty coastline. Yet no sign of the anticipated ships appears. The quiet inspection of the adults set the children to whisper.
Xeno is late. So late that Miss Villa would say they were absent.
Do you think something bad happened to them? What are they doing there?
No answer comes, but a new event catches their attention.
Oh, something is falling. Light and soft, like a polar bear's head.
Dark clouds presses down on them, blocking out the final ray of sunlight.
Poor bear, losing all his hair.
It's getting darker. Snowflakes flutter down across the gray sky. Conversing in the blistering wind, they fall towards the town.
Hmm?
It's snow!
It's more like a blizzard now.
What? How can there be snow in summer? Hmm? Is this related to the strange thing Avgus said earlier?
If so, I'm happy that these aren't stones or a dark cloud spit.
The children huddles near August, astonished by the accuracy of his prediction.
Avgus! I can't believe it! You were never right before.
Ugh. Oh, it's chilly. The snow is biting against my skin.
I'm sorry, Avgus. I shouldn't call you a liar.
He lowers his head hesitantly.
But will Ravashki really get into trouble?
His gentle hand nudges Pelosi, emotion learned from someone older and wiser.
Piotr, we will not be defeated. Not by clouds or bears. Look. Mr. Tortoise is walking very slowly. But no one has left their position.
Is it the Xenos?
You little swans must go back to your lake too. Go as fast as you can. We will.
Don't forget your own job, August.
The children return to their positions and ready themselves.
So, this milky white line is this snowstorm. The average temperature in the Ravashki has reached its highest point in the last 5 years, which together with the abnormally rich air moisture have produced an unseasonal and odd kind of snow. The weather forecast was wrong. Ley lines were right.
Winslow can't hide her excitement. She leans up on the one wall some distance from the event, her pen flying across page after page of notes, until she compels to snap back to reality. Assembly before her has barely moved. The stone claims more territory by the minute. Overseas and land piling up on the railing and rising over boots, large and small. A distant foghorn, accompanied by the sight of flag piercing in the horizon, Zeno arrived at last.
Everyone listen! Our ceremony will begin!
As you command, comrade.
Music, please!
Пусть и вчерашний день оставь в прошлом, каждый шаг рисует новый день. Не смотри назад, не теней, вмигом, светлые небеса путешествуем.
The steamship pulls into the Arumic harbor, but no further movement follows. A porthole opens, but no voice comes out, no sound whatsoever beyond the lapping waves. A letter flutters out the anxious crowd.
It's a pleasure to speak to you all, our valued friends in Ravashki. On behalf of Xeno Arms Academy, I am here to announce the details of the Xeno-Ravashki Cooperation Agreement. As many of you have expected, a squad of armed troops will soon be sent to aid you with the critter problem. However, having given it careful consideration, we have decided that the town of Ravashki is no longer viable for our continued support and must be abandoned. We advise that all residents prepare to be transferred to a new post immediately. Thank you for your cooperation.
What?
They're losing their hometown? Good days, bad days. The era can shape us, but it can also destroy us. So just relax and take it easy, everyone says.
I don't see the point of your reluctance.
The frowning master of ceremonies straightens the tortoise pattern letters and then shoves it back into its envelope.
The letter conveyed Zeno's decision clearly. I suggest we warm ourselves up with a few drinks before we go. Do you have any stowage in town? Better than sitting here dwelling on the things that cannot be changed. Please, tell me you have something like cocoa here?
The long-awaited guest stretches lazily as if no one is around and sinks into the tension in the air hangs like fumes, waiting to ignite.
This is not what we agreed on earlier, Mr. Bertolt.
Calm yourself, Villa.
You must be mistaken, my very passionate friend. Xeno sent a warning months ago. The estimated value Ravashki can add to Xeno's program is less than satisfactory. Further support is no longer recommended. Should any new valuable resources be found in the region, please reply to this letter as soon as possible for further assessment. Then we heard back from Ravashki. In fact, the sender was you, Evgeny.
Yes, it was.
And it was you yourself that argued the most compelling point, I have to say. One that has drawn the higher-ups' attention. And the reason why I was sent here. I believe you wrote, "I have total faith in the quality of the people of Ravashki. Their solidarity, dedication, and motivation have proven invaluable to us. I am certain they would carry those same strengths of character and skill to any post, no matter where they were assigned."
Oh! He folds the letter and hands it to Villa, her face blank as a canvas.
Xeno accepted my application. Of course, I asked around before making my submission, and Xeno seemed to have a good reputation. It was a golden opportunity to join them.
It is. But do not get us wrong. Our entrance requirements can be most difficult to meet. Xeno only takes in the best of the best.
You want some of us to work for Xeno? You never told us anything like that, Yevgeny!
Be reasonable, Villa. Some of us deserve this opportunity.
What about the others? We have elders and children. Some of our comrades have been injured and even died in the mine. Are we to forget their sacrifices?
She tries to suppress the gills on her neck as they heave violently.
Relax, my friend. That's why we sent our very best biological control squad. We will escort you to the nearest shelter.
Another wave upon relentless waves of shock.
Face reality, Villa. I know how much effort we have put into building this town, and I understand you have this dream to fulfill. But we must prepare for the worst. We may have to give up on our Ravashki.
He takes out a document covered in scratches notes and notions and hands it to her.
Read this.
Field investigation has confirmed that the remaining runium reserves in Ravashki are around 0.0173 kilotons, which is less than 0.275% of our average annual output. The mine is located high within the Arctic Circle, which has entailed significant transportation costs. The harsh environment is also wholly unsuitable for building any permanent processing facilities. In addition, military spending on the region has recently been elevated 3.61 times due to increasing animal and critter attacks, and that number is still rising. Clearly, the region is now incapable of self-management. According to the Guide on Global Humanitarian Aid by the Office for Disaster Risk Reduction of Xeno Arms Academy, we propose to send a special squad to the region to evacuate all local citizens and subsequently take care of the remaining biological control issues.
And our admission standards will be lowered at Xeno's discretion, so that you will all find work with us somewhere.
Gino representative offers a timely, if unconceiving, supplement to the letter. The paper creases and crumbles into the ball in her hands.
I'm sorry, but this is reality. From the start, this ore was the only thing they wanted from us. The environment here has always been harsh for mining, but we overcame it and sent our shipments to wherever Zeno had need of them.
And I salute each one of you for your work, my friends.
But now, our mission is over.
There's no doubt in anyone's mind, Runo has been town's lifeblood and the key to its survival.
I believe all of you will continue to work hard in your new positions, no matter what.
You shouldn't rush to a decision. We are discussing Ravashki's future here, Yevgeny. For 6 decades, the people here have put in great efforts to turn the town into what it is today. We won't leave just because you tell us so. Our grandparents didn't even have construction equipment at the beginning. They built these houses with their own hands. We shipped over the planting soil. We built walls to keep out the wind and snow.
Within the meeting room's closure walls, the air is heavy with moisture once more.
When you came here, you brought books for the children and introduced us to a species different than humans. You became one of us. I'm not happy about this either, Comrade Vila.
I won't buy that, Comrade Yevgeny. This is not just about my dream, but everyone's dream. Or have you forgotten what Ravashki was meant to be?
A utopia built for and by everyone. The voice of a better future. One which would sound across the land and seas. I remember every word of it.
The Gentie's voice is low, but still decisive.
You have my sympathy, friends. Zeno has also suffered huge losses in many regions. We have lost manpower, territory, armament factories, and even some of our affiliated military schools. Ravashki is but one of these losses. We know how you feel right now.
He shrugs his shoulders, his face a picture of helplessness.
But Zeno has his own problems to be faced. And investing in these new industries, purchasing fancy equipment, all these things Ravashki will need. All of this takes money. And even Zeno must be economical.
Shouldn't the people in Ravashki also benefit from these global benefits Zeno has promised?
We will get there, my friend. Maybe slowly, but we will get there. Trust me, Zeno has done everything they can for you. We need to keep our eyes on our goals and stay on the right course, so that we won't get lost in these turbulent times. Yes?
He leans toward Villa, providing an unnecessary whisper.
I know how much faith these people have in you, and I believe you can show them a different perspective about these coming changes. Of course, this will also help you during Zeno's assessment. Good luck, my friend.
A paper medal. Fortune blessings often comes knocking on your door or window when you least expect them.
The reserves of runium running dry. the appearance of new critters, the sudden snowstorm. I've connected the ley lines of each of these phenomena. The map is nearly complete.
She unfolds the complex blueprints filled with various lines and marks.
But still haven't traced many lines and marks back to their source. Perhaps if I go back to the factories, into the restricted zones. But I can't do that alone. Definitely not when the situation in town is so unstable.
Winsong collapses onto the table. An avalanche follows, covering her in layers of books and manuscripts. The piles around her looms like a mountain range, casting her in a shadow.
Well, I should have given this up long ago. There's no chance that the study of ley lines will ever be accepted again.
A phantom voice of packed mockery and scorn rise up to her ear.
Regretfully, Miss Winsong, with nothing but these outdated files and materials to back you up, there's simply no way to justify reinstating the study of ley lines into our curriculum. We don't have unlimited funds, and we must save our money for projects with greater potential. The study of ley lines is... Of course, we might be able to consider new ideas and projects. You can't be allowed to do this on your own. You will need endorsements from the Institution of Geographic Studies, the Arcane Creature Society, or other such organizations.
Maybe the Foundation?
Let me think. Zeno seems to be interested in geographers recently. He just recruited a number of researchers for a new commission. Maybe you should go try your luck with them.
The echoes of the nursery rhythm rings out from beyond her self-made mountain range. But she is all but oblivious to it.
The submission date is getting closer each day, but I've made poor progress. Zeno won't endorse me if I can't find a breakthrough. They have become more and more radical and desperate lately. First, they sent those researchers here to conduct their haphazard studies, and now an armed force? And all this effort just to chase the rumor of some source of perpetual energy? That this perpetual energy source must be hidden somewhere beneath the permafrost. The higher-ups call the shots. All they need to do is spread a little honey in the right places. Then all the little researchers will swarm on it like flies. But could there really be a magical power source like that? Whether there is or not, I still have a map to finish. There's no way that I can map every ley line in the region all by myself. Goodbye research funds. Goodbye lectures and seminars, and so long to my dreams of being chair of the Geographical Perspectives Forum.
She jostles the heap of books, moving them just enough to let in some light and sound. They seep in through the cracks like starlight.
Tuk tuk.
Huh?
The door snaps shut. Winsong stands against it nervously. Instruments roll off the table, colliding with each other on the windowsill, the corner, and under the bed, falling in a concerted disarray.
What was that?
The door is gently pushed open again, revealing a curious face of a sunflower peeking in through the cracks.
Miss Winsong, we've been waiting for you.
As far as metals go, the design is a little crueler than expected, and damp paper doesn't quite have the same gravity as gold or silver. Still, Winsong has fantasized countless times about receiving such a cloud of her work, even a paper one.
Miss Winsong, we prepared a special medal ceremony for you in August.
Please, come to our ceremony.
wanted to thank you for teaching us. Miss Villa was right. We shouldn't have been so quick to argue. We should have listened.
So you should be given an award for being right. But our ceremony will not be as big as the ones on TV.
Indeed, this was a special and exclusive reward. Simple as it is, it comes with something no one else could: the innocence and laughter of children.
Miss Winsong, will you accept this medal?
For the first time in a long while, the study of ley lines basks in the glow of solitary acclaim. The paper in the medal is cupped into her trembling hands.
I have no cup to put this medal in, so we can't toast with it in celebration.
She sniffles.
But now I know, no matter what, I won't be returning empty-handed. Thank you, kids.
Do you mean... are you leaving us?
But there is so much you still need to teach us. Rayashki embraces every guest, including you, Miss Winsong. Don't you like it here?
The children are on the verge of tears. She's pulled in helplessly too.
But those things I heard at the welcome ceremony, won't we all be leaving soon?
No. I don't believe it. That stranger was mean. He wasn't our friend.
This is our town. They can't speak for us.
That's right.
Neither doubt nor sorrow will dim their eyes. Before their lies only a sea of steadfast faces. Their words encouraging and powerful despite their youth. They plant some strange seeds and hopes within her.
Miss Villa invited the men from Zeno to leave his ship. Then they went into Mr. Evgeny's meeting room together.
Uncle Knut promised me that no one will give up this place. They will go to many meetings and find a solution that satisfies both sides. The tortoises move slowly. They need to keep their eyes open and look for a better answer. So, will you stay and teach us?
I won't cause you any more trouble. I promise.
The children burst into laughter. Their voice nearly drowns out the rustling noise coming from the windowsill.
Comrade Calculator is speaking.
Curiosity propels the children through the half-open door of the guest room.
Hello. Comrade Calculator, are you giving the earthworms directions?
The clamor by the window crescendo. Even the tiptoe, the child barely reaches the faintly glowing calibrator. Unfortunately, he is not the only one reaching for it. More unfortunately still, scrolling claws prove muddier than little fingers. The other children notice the tug-of-war and crowds around Winsong, squeezing into the increasingly cramped room.
What's going on here? My calibrator! The whale-like backbone, the diamond-shaped teeth, 2 short legs with dim eyes and an extremely sharp nose. That must be a Kikituk. But their closest habitat should be Konkarl's land, hundreds of kilometers away.
is now fixed eyes on a new treat in Winsong's grasp. She pulls out the scanner, its gear winding as ley line floods forth.
Their marks on the map appear to be red, sort of reddish-brown, and there's a large amount of ley energy accumulated around them. Clearly they're high on the food chain. Seems like the small fish have attracted more than one big fish.
With a swift kick, she sends the gremlin critter tumbling.
Kids, get behind me.
Fine. A little trick.
Beating.
Let the show. Wanna watch the aerial stunts?
For everyone.
That's what you've got.
Huh?
The entered Kukuku closed into a narrow lake.
Oh. The Kikutuks are giving a performance. Their nose sings, their four dances, and their belly shakes. But why aren't their ears doing anything?
August, what are you doing there? Stay back. Those are not Kikin.
But...
The meaning of both their messages is lost in the confusion.
But their ears are left behind. They can't join the dance. Then they will not get their Alyonka.
Ears?
Winsong, stuck by her sudden revolution, fixes on the Kukul's head. Beneath its tuft of plush fur lies well-hidden ears of a deeper color.
Природа — это числые черты.
After a brief excitation, line covers in a beam that hits precisely on its ears. The creature's cries pierce the air.
So that seems to be their weak spot. Good job, little one. You're even more perceptive than I thought.
Winsong pats August's head.
Next.
She reveals the dark and dangerous smile. The Kikitu finally recognized their ill-gotten pain, leaping down and away from the windowsill, leaving behind god-wet fragments of the ley calibrator.
Blin! This was one of the last working instruments I had!
A sunflower gently pats against Winsong's shoulder.
Don't be sad, Miss Winsong. If we plant them in the soil, many more will come out when spring comes.
Thank you, August.
Miss Winsong, can I be a ley hunter too?
If we were as good as you are, maybe we could have protected your machine.
And maybe we could protect our town.
Winsong turns her head, meeting many pairs of unexpectant eyes.
Kids, ley hunting isn't a good profession. If you become a ley hunter, you will have to deal with doubt from all your peers, even hatred, and homework that piles up to your roof.
Miss Winsong, people in Ravashki are taught not to doubt or hate others. they would never hit you or us.
Exactly.
The children of Ravashki are in some way too strange to her. The courage and solitude overcomes her long-standing hesitation. Her curiosity at them and all of this becomes a pivotal force, one pulling her even closer to Ravashki. A factory. A symphony of steel forged by hard hats and furnaces.
I'm happy that you let us show you around, Miss Vinsong. We haven't had many other visitors here since the critters started coming near the town. I met the blind lady once. She always smiles, and she has a pretty typewriter. Villa said she's a writer. The writer has been to many towns, and she fills up her papers with so much ink, just like I do. So, I made a drawing for her too.
What kind of drawing?
And she promised us that she will tell more people to come visit Ravashki.
Will people from other places like it here?
Image bounced around in August's mind, just out of grasp.
What about your other visitors?
I remember they had green and red rectangular paper and some shiny cookies in their hands.
They tried to trade us their silly paper so they could take our cans and things. They never wanted to work with their own hands. And Ravashki doesn't like lazy bones.
On this, the children's heads bob in agreement.
Miss Vinsong, Richard got all of us together last night, and we read for our How to Be a Good Tour Guide. So, we can guide you.
Miss Winsong is just a bit strange. She's not lazy.
The children hide his face, but the blush on their cheeks reaches out to his ears.
This time, I want borscht, bean shake, and oladi.
Let's not hurry on to our rewards, Avgus. We haven't helped Miss Winsong yet.
Oh, right.
Figures, large and small, pass definitely through the once tightly sealed iron door, arriving at the only factory left, whose lock has not yet rusted over.
Good to see out our little factory, Miss Winsong.
Hello, sir.
The kids have told me that you want to learn more about the history of Ravashki and the strange things that have happened in the past, yes?
I do. But would that be going against any rules?
Most certainly not, miss. We're not some stubborn old goats that dismiss people for asking questions.
He tries forward.
In fact, I'm relieved. It will be much easier to talk to you than that bitter fellow from Zeno. He came to the factory with his armed squad, took a quick look around, and left even without a polite farewell. Like a whiff of cold breeze, that one. These old, outdated machines, and hundreds of workers, young and old, each one a mouth to be fed. They are certainly not a pretty sight to the eyes of that greedy hyena.
A pathetic, number-crunching cretin.
The whisper's insulted creeps up to the listener's ears.
I am starting to like you, miss. We would have much to talk about. Perhaps over a drink. If only I didn't have to get on with my work.
A curious look around goes beyond the hard laboring workers. 10 steel doors and a layer of dust on each machine paint a less than ominous picture.
You can see what's going on here, right? Don't feel sorry for us. Xena might no longer need this ore processing factory, but we can make use of what's left of it. Once we get rid of the critters, we can arrange for other minerals or materials to be shipped to Ravashki for processing.
He rubs his hands together, leaning against the shelf of a rusted machine.
It is a shame we wasted so much of our good years, never preparing for these bad times. If those strange little monsters weren't there, we might be able to return to our mines. Then we'd really be able to turn things around.
About these mining sites.
Her notebook flutters rapidly, its page turning as fast as rolling flames.
Mr. Knut, have you ever found anything there, other than runium ore?
Never. I know those sites like the back of my own hand. I've never seen any other minerals of any worth there.
The rugged man seemed to catch her disappointment, and far quicker than she expected.
But give it some time, miss. Well, give me some time. Just a few months ago, back when Xena were still keen to work with us and not just ship us away, I remember they found some strange little pebbles. Dark pebbles that were stuck in the clothes of those little monsters. Zeno soon sent out some troops and caught all the monsters. They didn't leave a single one behind. We never heard about those pebbles again, nor have we found more of them in the mines. And you know the rest. Now we've exhausted the runium, and more strange-looking critters have appeared. So it's not safe to go back there. We left them completely deserted.
Please, take a look at this, Mr. Knut.
No, their clothes were thicker than a polar bear's. But these are closer. These monsters had much larger teeth. They almost look like old mining pigs. And no ears.
Could they be some kind of Hoytuk?
Yes, this one looked just like the creatures.
If that's true, then it may be another big fish that has come here to feed.
It is true. You can ask around. Many of the other workers have seen it.
So, the color of a Hoytuk is bright yellow, and that matches with these bright yellow lines I've traced here on the map. They are burrowing animals, often living as deep as 50 meters underground, so if they were here, that must mean... that there must be some undiscovered resource here.
The corner of her mouth quivers as she murmurs the word.
Talk of undiscovered resources would be music to our ears, miss.
I don't want to get your hopes up. It's still too early to draw any conclusions.
Yet, the corner of your mouth is suggesting the opposite.
I must be cautious before confirming there really is a new resource. Nonetheless, it's a silver lining. Thank you, Mr. Knut.
Think nothing of it, miss. Maybe one day you and your research will return the favor.
I will, if I can.
She reaches out a hand and she shakes it gently with warm strength.
I hope your work here can be resumed shortly.
Don't worry about us. We will find a way to drive those critters away and start production once again. We have all our brothers and sisters with us, and these machines still run perfectly. As long as we continue to put in our best effort, there's no reason why things won't get better.
He passed the trembling coffee machine with affection, like embracing an old friend.
Is this exceptionally positive spirit common with the people here?
Well, can't blame us for that. There are very few places in the world like Ravashki. Here, everyone earns their food and their rest through working hard together. Then outside of work, ice hockey, learning courses, even music lessons. Not everyone is as lucky as us. That is why we won't let Ravashki die.
Knut's voice rise as it's singing.
With busy hands and open hearts, Ravashki will live on. It will grow stronger, glowing as brightly as these furnaces.
Something brilliant indeed burns within those furnaces. A product greater than any ore or sag, emerging from the melting of purpose and sweat. The pen that stopped stirred once again. But this time, she seems to be sketching out something far harder to picture.
I have to say, Ravashki is truly a curious place.
Windsong wonders to herself.
It has a spirit which I've never found elsewhere. Yes, perhaps that's what was missing from the study of ley lines in the past.
Gurgle. A sounds interrupts her complaint. The sunflower pats against the boy's belly.
Miss Windsong, would you like to meet Mr. Patrick?
The friendly bear Canuck nods with an understanding smile.
It's time to go to the canteen, boys and girls. Eat well, and you'll grow strong. Patrick knows how to feed you well. He's the best cook in town. But I would suggest you be careful with that one, if you don't want to get stuck with his endless chatter all night.
I have never been to the canteen. I stayed out of that area in my previous, visits to avoid unwanted trouble.
Forward to Comrade Blinche.
That's correct, stretchy, miss. I look forward to hearing good news from you.
Canucks waves them off before setting back into his world of meadow. The churning and wheezing of machines replacing words. The canteen busts with a din of workers. The children weave through the busy hall, leading Windsong by the hand.
This is our canteen. We play hide and seek here when we're hungry. Comrade stew and potato piroshki are always the easiest to find. They're not very clever,
time.
But Comrade Blinkshit is very good at the game. He can only be found at dinners on Friday. We have good food, like mashed potatoes and boiled potatoes and potato stew. Mr. Patrick said a good cook can turn even simple ingredients into delicious food.
Lena casts a glance around her before she speaks softly.
The grown-ups are so kind to us. Sometimes they give us their cheese and salad, so they only have potatoes to eat.
Don't cry, Nina. Remember when you shared your lenka with everyone? When we grow up, it'll be our turn to help the grown-ups with our potatoes.
There's an awareness in them, a gravity few children possess at their age. Thankfully, some do retain their blissful innocence.
We also have the Tin Hat Festival, when they give us metal hats with food in them.
Avgus, it's called a Workers' Festival. We have it every month. Everyone must sit in a circle in the canteen and sing songs, and Miss Villa plays the accordion for us. We each get a can of food in it. Sometimes it's a shonka, sometimes it's salad, sometimes sprouts.
Yes, and after the Tin Hat Festival, we would bury our tin hats in the ground. Yellow ones, red ones, and white ones. Then tiny trees will come out from them next year.
I have told you many times, they are not tin seeds, and they don't grow into trees. They are just tin cans. We only bury them so they won't pollute the snow.
The subject of their debate flips a hidden switch in Windsong's mind. The really flickering interrupts.
Piles of tin cans. Food.
She unfolds a lay energy map, pointing to the last blurred area of interwoven lines and traces.
Those empty cans you mentioned, did you store them here?
Oh, I know this place. That's where the adults dug a big hole. They put some things inside. It's covered up with rocks and ice now.
Yes, Fasono is right. That's where the grown-ups put all our old metal after they make them into little cubes. Miss Vila said it helps keep our town and the whole region clean. Why? What's wrong with that place?
I'm thrilled. There must be lots of big fish left to be found around there. If I can write a report and provide a practical plan, maybe I can get I could request reinforcements.
She halts, swallowing back the unfriendly name.
Yay! School trip! School trip!
This is no trip, children. I'm not going there for a hike. You must stay in town and be good. That goes for every one of you. Understood?
Well, we know they're gonna be following her. Her resolution fails before she even finishes. The children protest and rise in a disordered chorus, drowning out all the other surrounding, only to be matched by the static fizz of an announcement. Winsong clutches at the thin throat of salvation.
Shh! Quiet, kids!
Attention, please. Tomorrow at 8 in the morning, we will be holding our final hearing. In this meeting, we hope to finalize our next steps and answer any remaining questions. We look forward to seeing you there.
So she has to hurry over to that place. To be continued. What number are we on now? Is it 9? Heavier than knowledge. This place is already overflowing with treasure. Please bring something more substantial. Bertold leans back in his armchair, casting a fleeting glance forward before his head falls.
What's this? Are you planning on getting a job with Zeno too?
Huh?
It says here you've been staying in this town for months, but it seems you're not on our list for potential recruitment from Ravashki.
The smile on his face remains as civilly sarcastic as ever.
I should remind you, for you researchers, what you produce tells much more about you than your efforts.
That's precisely why I'm here.
Go on.
He finally decides to raise his head up.
Based on the recent investigations, I'm confident that there is a new energy source in the area that has yet to be discovered.
And that's it? We already believed there was something here when we sent you out in the first place. You were sent here to find it. Instead, all you do is confirm what we already knew.
But you said that perpetual energy was just a myth, didn't you?
Of course it wasn't just a myth, lady. Why else would we ask you to investigate here in the first place?
Winsong gives a frown that slips, quite intentionally, into a scowl.
Do you have anything else to report?
No, but I do need your help. I will need an armed squad to come with me to the mining sites so that I can continue my investigations into this subject. I'm afraid I don't know how long it will take. It also depends on the number of soldiers you can spare for the task.
You have a terrible sense of humor.
I'm not being funny. You want more research on the new resource too, don't you?
Miss Vinsong, do you really think this is even a remotely reasonable request? Critters are running rampant in the area, and you demand help to verify what is, as far as I can see, a highly questionable conclusion. Why should I waste Zeno's time and resources on this? Not to mention, putting the lives of our soldiers at risk.
If you have doubts, please take a look at these files.
The researcher dives her hand into the bag, but is met with a wave of dismissal.
And let me guess, you learned all this from your study of ley lines? To date, the theory of ley lines has neither been approved by the Arcane Study Review Association, nor accepted by the Project Assessment of Human Science and Technology. It has 0 academic achievements, 0 endorsements, and aside from the questionable example in front of me, 0 researchers.
That's all only a temporary setback.
Ms. Vinsong, I sympathize with the awkward situation I have put you in. However, Zeno simply cannot afford to waste resources on a proposal without any solid evidence.
I will give you something. All I need is a bit of help up front, I promise.
He looks into his eyes, he's glazed, bored, but Winsong does not falter.
Did you not come here to deal with these critters? Then what's the fuss about? Can't you deal with them while accompanying me to these mining sites as well?
Bertrand's eyes widen, now unglazed as he rises. He paces silently, drifting at first, then proceeding to the windowsill.
I'm afraid you've got our intentions altogether wrong.
The window closed tightly, sealing the last whispers of wind from the outside.
Zeno is here for one thing only. A source of perpetual energy. This is what you have been tasked to find, viz the resources you were given. We won't approve any further requests until you have a solid lead. We aren't paying you for a charity mission.
So then you never planned on controlling the critters here? The squad you brought here was to control the town?
A force sufficient to deal with the critters would have attracted unwanted attention from our rivals. It is not in our interests to share this town or its resources. I'm sure you can see that.
So even if we do find the resource for you, you won't leave this town or its people alone.
We're talking about the ultimate energy source of Arcana. Do you think we will just walk away and leave it to be squandered by a bunch of ignorant peasants and miners?
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Vitro smiles, face like a bad aftertaste.
What we are going to do with Ravashki should be of no concern to you. We have made every arrangement for them. We aren't monsters. Before the final decision is made, we will continue to help the locals as much as we can. Including you.
Before the wild-eyed researcher can voice her dissent, Bertrand steers the conversation with well-practiced ease. Wordless in this, he draws out an attractive-looking document and slides across the table towards her.
Is this?
You seem surprised. Isn't it what you have always wanted?
You're bribing her?
With Zeno's endorsement, you will be able to teach your program in any university. We have prepared this gesture of our good faith in you. Now, it's your turn to show yours. Forget about an armed squad. They have more important things to do. You're on your own, my friend. But prove to us that you can do this job and bring us the best answer you can give.
The pale letterhead stings Winsong's fingertips.
And this piece of paper will be yours when you complete your mission.
I understand.
See that you do. Good luck out there, Miss Winsong.
Deep footprints, now half buried in fresh snow. Trace the path of researchers to determine mark behind her. Her courage, passion, and body temperature rapidly cooling against the blizzard.
Was I out of my mind? He was just trying to get me out of his office. He threw a carrot out of the window and I chased right after it like a blinded mule. Still.
Her hands linger on the paper nestled within her pocket.
Maybe this carrot is too good to let go.
With a sigh of resignation, she reached deeper.
Focus. Once I fill the gaps in my data, I will be able to pitch it to Zeno, and all subsequent research won't be a problem anymore. The primary food sources for Hoytuk are raw minerals underground. Those processed metals only keep them from starving to death. They wouldn't have gone across any icy ocean just to gnaw on old equipment and trash. All I need to do is find a trace of their activity so that I can learn about their current conditions, and from there, locate their other food sources. Stay calm. Hoytuk are gentle creatures. They rarely attack humans, I just need to be cautious.
Her internal struggles will have to wait. A more practical problem looms larger. The blizzard has covered almost everything, leaving a few cans to poke out, rattling along with the winds.
Ah, sumasайте! Ух ты! All right, change of direction. If I were to look down instead of looking forward, maybe I should scan the area and follow where the ley energy is leading, just like I did at Silbury Hill. Of course, I hope the outcome will be different this time.
She surveys the expanse of boundless snow.
Before all that, I need to clear out this place. Природа — это числа и черты.
Wonder if any of the kids
Природа — это
follow her.
мозаика цветов.
Soil turns slowly along the seashore, a mix of mud and snow. Violet is that spreads beyond it, one is which is complete unaware. Clearly, these creatures harbor some discontent at the scars of their lands.
Shoot. Now I've done it. Those vestigial digging teeth, the 3 fingers long tearing teeth, these are not Hoytuk.
The bared teeth and claws in a rhythmic way, like a primitive pre-feeding ritual.
These scaled wings must be for swimming. Then you must be... Mutant Kikituk from the Olga area. You should be at the Olga Strait hunting for migrating salmon and whales, not here.
What's it mean for them to be here? The Kikiku can no longer contain themselves and pounce toward Twin Song.
Wanna watch the aerial stunts? Time.
For everyone.
Oh. Don't blink.
Let the show begin.
Please.
Illusion is enough.
They are much naughtier than the Foundation's kids.
Winsong sits slumped on the ground, gasping for air. The furies have not yet been abated. The creature holds the ground.
Why would you come here? What inspired you to trek across the ocean just to hunt for humans?
The aggressor shows no sign of understanding. They inch closer, drool drooping from their mouths.
It seems while their claws and teeth have degraded, their reflex is much quicker than a Hoytuk's. They perceived my approach even though I used my ley line reader as a dampener.
The realm distance from the air drowns out her sighs. The Gresham hammers out nearby, shot landing on one of the snarling Kukutuks. The bolt is drawn back, the familiar sound sends another scurrying away.
Get out! Get out of here! I'll cover you!
More gunfire thunders over and over until the last Kukur abandons their position.
Thank you, sir.
Composing herself, the researcher immediately returns to her work.
Yevgeny, the kids told me about a can pile. Is it nearby?
can pile.
He furthers his bow, motioning his eyes to some hilly snowdrifts nearby.
They must be talking about our waste metal. I'm afraid it's gone, Miss Winsong. Maybe animals dug it all out, or maybe those little monsters ate it.
Do you know if that happened before or after the Runian mines ran dry?
I'm not sure.
Evgenji's brow furrows again, this time casting a surveillance glance on her scattered instruments.
You shouldn't be here. There's nothing of value to find in this place. And you're not supposed to be using this arcane equipment here either. We have a better way to deal with these fierce little monsters. What you're doing will just attract more of them.
His statement rattles her.
You can drive away the Kikituks?
Not anymore. We don't have much left to fight them off with. Zeno didn't bring any equipment for our team, let alone any weapons. Go. Leave before it's too late.
He carefully checks the rifle in his hands.
What if I don't want to just give up?
He really slows down, making his inspection come across as even more deliberate.
I've seen your residence application. You say you are a researcher. Then you should be clever enough not to go down a fruitless and dangerous path.
I admit that what I am doing here is reckless, and maybe I'm just motivated by my own selfish interests, but I can't just walk away from my commitments. You have lived in Ravashki for a long time. You know what commitment means here much better than I do.
There is a shift in his face as he turns away from her.
I won't give it up so easily. Just like the people here won't give away their land like nothing.
It's stubbornness. That's all. They should have gone to other places and put their talents to good use, rather than staying here to fight for nothing.
Winsong holds a stare, lifting her chin to match up to him.
Is that why you gave away the town so easily to Zeno? Do you really even know your neighbors?
I have lived and worked together with them for decades. Don't be ridiculous. I agree with Zeno's perspective.
I've been to many places, and I have encountered many people like you. Stuck-up leader types. Making decisions on behalf of other people because it's what's good for them.
And they should listen, just as you should now.
He breaks the rifle as he motions her back and scans the near horizon.
It's my responsibility to protect everyone, to do right by them. I will make them see it tomorrow at the hearing.
To be continued. Alright, let's do the last one, 10. The where we usually stop is when we go through 1 through 10. The only days left. Can life still go on? People streams in from all directions. Stand now at the crossroad of the town's fate.
People of Ravashki, my dear friends, good day to you all. Over the past 2 days, Zeno has assessed the potential risks and benefits in the area and held hearings on what should be done about the future of this town. Our hearings saw very limited attendance, we've taken that to be a gesture of approval. Mr. Evgeny has put in a great effort helping to make these changes happen. We all owe him a great deal. Thank you, sir.
He motions to Agani at his side. A freshly painted document unfurled all before all present. Zeno seals stamp deliberately in a prominent position.
Please believe that we have made the best decision we could for you. We all know the runium here has run dry, and the land has been exhausted of all further material wealth. Now and into the foreseeable future. As a result, your local processing factory has lost its intended purpose. What's more, Zeno has changed our cooperation strategy. Though your town's loyalty will never be forgotten, we must have a sober-minded view of its costs and benefits. To sum up, our final decision is that we will be ending operations and all future cooperation between Zeno and Ravashki.
The heavy hammer swings into the square, producing a whistling wind.
Well, Mr. Bertolt, you have just got here. Perhaps you didn't have enough time to get to know us well enough. Ravashki's value is not just in our runium. We have many other factories too.
Urgent words of protest flood in from all sides.
Yes, you have a brick factory, a power plant, many forklifts, a smattering of conveyor belts. But all these were all built and suited for only the processing of runium ore. Without the ore, they simply have no benefit to us.
The crowd murmurs, voice bubbling up and simmering like boiling water. Bertolt raps the table, ending the brawl.
Now that you have full knowledge of the situation and our intentions, we want to assure you that your loyalty has not been forgotten. So we have generously prepared 2 choices for the future of Ravashki.
The assembly hushes.
Firstly, Zeno believes that you have many valuable qualities. The determination and skills you've shown in the past year of our cooperation have proved that your people can be a great asset to us.
Bertolt scans across the faces looking back at him.
Indeed, many of you already meet the entrance requirements to join Zeno. Therefore, on behalf of Zeno Arms Academy, I wish to extend a heartfelt invitation to you. Leave Ravashki, join us, and work for one of our other branches as members of Zeno.
What are you saying? You want us to abandon our home for some promise of a job?
Calm down, Mr. Knut. This is not about abandoning your home. It's about joining us in our efforts to contribute to world peace through a more optimized allocation of manpower.
So you're just going to pack us all up and ship us away to work for Zeno?
You misunderstand, madam.
He closes the folder, looking constantly towards the children besides one song.
Every year, Zeno dismisses 4% of our employees because they failed to pass our rigorous work reviews. And the number of our colleagues that are killed in the line of duty is even larger still. Working for Zeno is a privilege, not a gift. That's why only a small number of you will be allowed to come and work for us. What? Now, according to Article 58 in the section on protection of Arcanist rights, signed at the Event Horizon Convention, we provide basic supplies for any residents who haven't been offered a position with Zeno. They will be transferred immediately to the nearest relief station until our social workers contact them for further arrangements.
So then, you're suggesting you will send our children and elderly away to some kind of refugee station? And the rest of us must go to work for Xena without any questions? Pridurak! This is total rubbish!
He waves off, then pushes aside the Xeno soldiers in front of him.
Sir, please lower your voice.
Well, you would be glad to know that your work experience in particular is valuable to Xeno, Mr. Knut.
He attempts to pat Antonet's shoulder, which shuts him off. But Berto acts entirely unfazed, unfolding the document further.
If you're not interested in our first plan, we have another. If the residents in the area prove reluctant to relocate, Xeno can offer another alternative. As stated earlier, Ravashki is a remote town that possesses some significant industrial infrastructure. Therefore, it could be considered an ideal location for a new complex of arms factories. There would be a need to substantially upgrade the Ravashki Wharf, to turn it into one of the seaports Xeno plans to build across the globe. Additionally, a radio station will be constructed within the town, which will better facilitate our communication throughout the Arctic region so as to stabilize and coordinate with the other powers in the area. We will now be passing out forms, listing the options I've presented. Please fill them in with your choice.
So they're changing into like almost like
So
a
your
war.
only other option is to turn Ravashki into some kind of military base under Xeno's control?
I won't put it so bluntly, but you're not incorrect. Our resources, as much as anyone's, are limited, and they must be put to good use. We cannot afford to waste them on strategically useless, costly people and places. If you want Xeno to help you, you should be able to give us something in return. Don't you agree?
He follows the proposal again with satisfaction. The crowds heave in protest, held at bay by the soldiers around Berto.
So Yevgeny, this is the best choice you made for all of us?
I must speak in Mr. Evgeny's defense. He is committed to his duty, and only wishes to do what he can for his compatriots.
Shameless! All you've done is sold us out!
You tell them, Knut.
Do you think it's getting a bit windy lately? Clearly, with all the hot air in Evgeny's head, his mind has been blown away.
Countless eyes falls on Agani. Disappointment, sadness, perhaps something more complex.
I swear to you, I'm not doing this out of my own interest. Comrades, there are many better places in this world, and you have better purposes to fulfill. You shouldn't waste your time here.
The bear of a man puffs up with anger.
Let's all calm down, my friends. It's time to be reasonable. Think carefully. Xeno has been very generous regarding the offers before you.
He releases himself as he's about to launch into a grand prepared speech, but his hands tremble. A chill wind sweeps over him.
Generous? Now that's ridiculous. We won't let you take away our family and friends, nor are we about to let you turn our town into a puppet state.
We will stay here, no matter what.
Comrades, I understand how you feel right now. but we must face the cruel reality of our situation.
And you're willing to send away our own people, or give up on all we've built here because of this so-called reality?
It is the only way forward. If we continue to stay here without any help, it will be the end of us either way.
Do we have to turn to Xeno for this help?
Genji fails to react at first, but a defeated expression comes over him.
The truth is, just as Ravashki's economy has been dependent on Runium, we remain dependent on Xeno. Without them, at the present rate of consumption, we will be out of supplies and materials within a year.
Silent title shift sweeps over those assembled. The researcher observes the change with harsh recognition.
The situation looks bad. Xeno is determined to gain control over this place.
She touches the unsealed letter. Her fingers jumps away as it's been electrified.
But if I complete the task as Xeno requested, does it mean?
Berto's words echoes into her ear.
I will shatter their dream? And what about my dream?
The words stick into her throat.
Did the people who refuse to acknowledge the study of ley lines act out of the same self-interest? I've seen this happen so many times before. A simple dream is made to face a cruel reality, where the clever ones give up and leave, and the stubborn fools remain, waiting to be crushed. We asked for our misery.
But still, some bravely charge forwards.
Wait! I'm not finished!
Berto dismisses her with his hand
But
and
I
leaves.
am Miss Villa.
The researcher remains stunned, but this pent-up chemistry of hope and resolve begins to cast itself again her. Catalyst.
Sir, with all due respect, I can't complete this task alone. As an ordinary researcher, I can relate to them. Please, forgive me for interrupting.
She lifts her head proudly, looking out in the direction of the crowd.
I have heard so much about Ravashki these days. They started from nothing, but bit by bit they accomplished the impossible. Their voice should be heard. Природа — это числа и черты.
The soil and snow under her feet becomes imbued with new life, rising up around them. The transfer commits their roots and surge up into gun barrels, plugging them into consumer fiction. The teacher sees all on this opportunity. He climbs over the wall of the confused soldier and charges forward.
Mr. Boto, we can't hold them any longer.
We're fighting the soldiers now. Do I have a plan, team?
Finally, some interesting work. Whose heart is beating so loud? I hear something. I can hear it. Talk
Okay, now it calms people down. Agents have guns. It's called common sense.
Oh, these villains!
Copy that! Easy lah! Copy that! Sky's Eye, Lily! Thunder, to me!
Come on, stand up. There's all around.
Their conflict ceases. Scarily Pams forcefully grasps Bertolt's arm, sharp nails tearing into his sleeves.
Now, will you listen to me?
A clean new ledger is stuffed into Bertolt's hands.
We don't need your help. Your soldiers and your tyranny are no longer welcome here.
Vila turns around to face her people.
Comrades, what do you say? Shall we solve the problem with the strength of our own hands and hearts?
What else can we do? This is what we've always done when there was a problem.
There will be more solutions than problems if we work together.
If I must die, I will die here with all of you.
Stop talking nonsense, you idiot! Nobody is going to die.
Ravashki belongs to all of us. We will stand with it till its last moment.
The sudden surge of conviction and unity cows the guards as they move. Many blush with shame. Some of them quietly withdraw.
Huh. They might say they're just ordinary people, but they are so brave and noble.
To be continued. So let's see what we unlocked so far. So it looks like the final crisis is 16, so there might be some more story after that. So it should be around, I think, 20-ish wise, I think. Let's collect and see. Oh, goodbye. Wait. Okay, 19 days, okay. Alright, so I can't buy the 8,001. Not yet, I guess. Alright, so I think that should be all for tonight. I think if I have time tomorrow, we'll see if we could finish this story and maybe do the antidote and also the main bulletin. Write it down. Let me see something. Alright, so thanks everyone for coming out to today's stream. Thanks Millie for the Prime sub. Hope everyone has a great day or night. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time.